Okay, Jaybird in the house. Doing the COVID-19 boredom relief number 10, I believe, in response to Agno's last video. Um, I asked her three questions, philosophical questions, mind you. And of course, she threw the questions right back in my face, so that's what I get for asking some tricky questions. But I'll try to do the same here tonight. So here we go. Question number one: what is the most important emotion? Well, Agno said that it was love. And I tend to agree with that. Um, I think more good things come from love than any other emotion. Though I never thought of emotions as being good or bad on their own. It's kind of what you decide to do with those emotions that count. They're not really positive or negative. Um, I was watching a movie a few days ago. It was one of my old favorite movies called The English Patient. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not. It's a World War II uh, story. But the guy in the main character in the movie, he fell in love with this married woman. Ended up having an affair with her, which is not a really good thing to do. And the woman's husband finds out and tries to kill his wife and him and all of them together, and just succeeds in killing himself and really injuring his wife badly. So he puts her in a cave to try to save her, and walks across the desert to get help for her. And in the end, he gets captured and he has to escape from the army, and he ends up just literally choking a guy to death, and then going to the Nazis and betraying everything he stood for just for some gasoline and an airplane so he could fly back and try to save her. So, you know, his love led him to, cheat and kill and betray. So that was kind of a selfish love. So, you can't say love is good just on its own. And kind of the same thing with hatred. You can't just say, well, you shouldn't hate. Well, it depends on what you do with your hatred. Say you hate whaling. Okay, you hate the fact that these poor innocent whales are being butchered just for their oil. So you join Greenpeace, and you go out and get your little rubber rafts, and you get in front of the whaling vessels and you protect the whales. So your hatred leads you to do something very good. So it doesn't really matter. Love, hate, whatever the emotion is, it's how you use that emotion to a positive effect. But yeah, in the long run, I tend to agree that love can lead to more good things than bad things. So, okay, second question. Is God real? If not, explain. Well, I can only say that being myself, I tend to list myself as a agnostic. I mean, I was born and raised a Christian family, a Protestant family, and I was baptized as a Protestant. But we're never terribly religious. Um, I tend to think of God as, like Agno said, I don't think of him as some gray-haired old man up in the sky that watches over everybody. I tend to think of God as the higher consciousness of all the life forms, probably humans and everything else on this planet. I don't know if God created everything. I tend to believe in scientists and believe in the Big Bang Theory, that life just sort of happened. But I do believe that people have souls. Um, and I think probably God is just the collective souls of everybody on this planet. Together, that makes a greater mind, a higher consciousness. And whether God is really the kind of God that, looks down on everything we do and watches over us, I don't really know about that. But yeah, I do believe in God in that sense, in rather a strict sense. Okay, and let's see. Third question: will people survive to the end of the world? Um, I'd like to say yes, but I really don't foresee that happening. I mean, humans are very intelligent creatures, but we seem to be lacking in just basic wisdom and common sense. I mean, the global warming is happening right now. People don't want to accept it. The population is growing out of proportion. I mean, this is definitely a finite planet that we live on, and we only have so many resources, so much space. Eventually, there's going to reach a point when there's too many people and not enough food and water, and it seems like it's all going to come crashing down. Another mass extinction is going to happen. Um, though I get the feeling from looking at Earth's history and Earth's past that in the past we may have been more advanced than we are now. So who knows? Maybe this has happened before. Maybe everything has collapsed in on itself and then a small group of humans start all over again, like the world is reset, and slowly over time we build up. And hopefully, if that happens again, we'll learn our lessons from the past. But it seems like nobody seems to remember what happened in the past. So it's going to happen all over again. But I hope, it doesn't. Eventually, Earth itself is not going to survive. I mean, let's face it, our sun is basically a big nuclear fire burning in space. And, like a billion years from now, the fuel's going to run out. And like scientists say, the sun is just going to slowly expand and engulf all the inner planets. So eventually Earth will be gone. It's not here forever. We're not here forever. So, yeah, I don't. Sadly, I don't see that humans will survive to the end of our planet. Hopefully, we'll be smart enough to, build some spaceships and get off this planet and get somewhere else so that the human race can survive in some way or another. So, there you go. There's my philosophical response to these great questions I came up with. And I will think about your next challenge, Agno. So be ready. Give me a few days. I'm going to try to come up with something decent for the next one. Okay. Cheers.